Adam is the most excited about this episode. In fact, it was his idea, so toast.
That's right. We were pretty excited to try a bunch of bread for an episode. Adam had the brilliant idea of looking at bread worlds through the ship of toast. So today, not only are we going to 3 restaurants, but we're also going to a couple of bakeries. So this is really going to be a jam-packed episode.
Wow. Today on Worth It, we're gonna be trying 3 awesome toast dishes at 3 not so drastically different price points to find out which one is the most worth it at its price. FYI, the toast we're doing, these are not your average toast, it's not your side toast. This toast is entree toast. You ready?
Toast me.
I'm Jessica Koslow. You're here at Sqirl in Silver Lake. Today we're trying our ricotta toast, the poster child of sweet food here at Sqirl. The Sqirl started in 2011 as a jam company. When we started, we really only had this space here, so we were doing pretty much everything on toast. All the jams are made here, fresh in copper pans. Like, it is all labor. The jams are made by hand, the ricotta, and all of these things. The only thing that's not is the bread, because we don't have the space, and that is why we find really special producers like Bub and Grandma's for our whitefish tartine. We use Clark Street baguettes for this chickpea dish that has basically a sword where we cut the baguette from tip to tail. For the ricotta toast, we use a fluffy brioche that we get from Farm Shop.
Brioche is actually pretty simple ingredients. It has flour, yeast, salt, sugar, and then the enrichment part, there's milk, there's eggs, and there's butter. We are using California butter. It's high butter fat, so you're looking at like 80%. We're also using California cage-free eggs, and we will shape it. It'll go into the pre-sprayed pans that we've got ready to go, our loaf pans, where you have a dome top, which is what the ones we're making for Sqirl.
And the challenge of making the round top brioche versus the flat Pullman loaves, it's the mixing process. So if the mixing isn't done enough, then you're gonna have gaps. And depending on how the bread proofs, you might have holes. It's a different game than a flat-based brioche.
And then it is packed early in the morning, and then it'll get shipped.
Cut size is pretty thick. We roll it on a butter wheel. So we butter it on both sides, and then we put it into a panini press. It's a flat panini press on both sides. So it's warm, it's griddled, and then we let it rest for a second. We put the ricotta on. We make it from Strauss organic cream. We strain it. We add about 90% cream by weight back into the ricotta, and we whip it by hand. And so it is a fluffy type of ricotta. A lot of times people want a rainbow, so they get 3 flavors of jam. It does rotate with the season, so right now we'll do blueberry rhubarb, raspberry cardamom, strawberry rose geranium. We finish it with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice and a sprinkle of Malden sea salt.
So at Farm Shop, they were saying you're the only one who doesn't have the flat top bread. Why?
It looks like a mushroom, you know? It's really fun. You know, if you're paying $8 for a ricotta toast, it better look fun, and it better look ridiculous and big, and that's exactly what it does.
So first of all, cheers. This
Turmeric
is a
tonic.
Turmeric tonic. That's nice.
Is it ginger? Oh, it's so good.
Turmeric. Look at this toast.
Whoa, I just got a big whiff of the jam.
Yeah. This is beyond toast. This is my actual face. And look at the scale. All right, shall I cut you a little cube?
Please. Whoa. I will say I've never seen ricotta presented in this fashion.
Toast. Nailed it. Oh my God.
Of all of the elements of this toast, the toast is really just the presenter here. Like, it's amazing, it's doing its job. The ricotta is insane. It's whipped.
Yes.
So lightly.
Yes.
And it's cheese.
Okay, next jam. That jam. This is a jam story.
Yes.
This is like when you're reading Red Riding Hood and you think it's about a little girl, but really it's about a badass wolf.
It's like the best parts of a jam sandwich that I had, and French toast and cake, but light, like a whipped cream. Mix that in a bottle, and you got ricotta toast. Look at the toast. I love the edges of toast. You get the crust.
The crust is a must. Super delicious.
It's Adam's turn. Ricotta toast.
On brioche.
With jam.
At Sqirl Cafe. Is it called Sqirl Cafe?
I don't know, but I'm really into this like back and forth thing. We just build a sentence together. I
love
toast.
Boom. We're here in
Koreatown. And we're going to a restaurant called Here's Looking at You. Whoa, did you look at me right when I said that?
I thought I was gonna have to finish part of the
Oh, my bad. Here's Looking at
You.
There we go. We're gonna have some pate, some cheese.
A savory toast that's better than most.
I'm Jonathan Whitener. I'm the chef owner of Here's Looking at You, and we're gonna try chicken liver mousse and stracciatella cheese today.
What kind of establishment is Here's Looking at You?
Well, we're like a progressive kind of Southern California restaurant. The repertoire is French at heart, but executed with all types of different cultures.
When did toast become like a meal?
Good bread is the vessel for everything that you're trying to make. And it wasn't until I met Andy from Bub and Grandma's. Our signature dishes involve Bub's bread. It's such a quintessential part of the restaurant. His bread has a perfect balance of texture and flavor. The aeration of it and the fact that he cooks with passion actually influence on the food.
Part of our thing is creating a happy place to work that doesn't push people away from their families and friends, and it translates into the products that come out the door. We use higher percentage whole grain than most of the other bakers in town. I feel like there's more flavor in the whole grains. It helps to move people more towards real bread as opposed to chemically engineered bread. It's a 3-day process, basically. We mix weighed out bins, they start fermenting. Throughout the 3-hour bulk fermentation, we do folds on the dough to build strength, basically building a scaffold inside that holds in all those CO2 bubbles so that it doesn't collapse in the oven. Shaping it into a boule, goes in the baskets, goes in the walk-in, come in the next morning, straight out of the baskets, they flip onto the loader, and then they bake. Max is gonna score these because when we do our final shape, the exterior of the loaves are made strong enough to hold the thing up. So now we wanna actually release that tension so that they can rise to their fullest potential in the oven. Caring is number one. Like, I'm just a really anxious person, and if things aren't perfect, they need to be, which these guys do. It's personal, like, especially when you get up early in the morning like this and sacrifice part of your normal life to come work here, you have to care.
I mean, this bread is epic. You know, we hit it up with a lot of olive oil to help get a really good char on it and just slap it on the grill. We have a wood burning grill, it burns at like 700 degrees. A lot of our clients are like, is it supposed to be burnt like this? And it's like, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that burning stuff like that and smoking is a technique of cooking. The chicken liver mousse, we use really high quality Jadori chicken livers. I actually take my maple syrup and smoke it, and then we add that to the liver. We serve it with a side of Bub's bread and then pickled pipiras, which are like Spanish Basque peppers.
All right, we've got this beautiful rosé.
We do.
I know you love the color of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our first build your own toast segment. You get to control your flavors a little bit more. Do you want to try the bread on its own?
I actually really do, because he was really talking up Andy's bread. Cheers. Toast.
Toast. That was so awkward. Oh yeah. Already.
Look at the aeration on that bread inside. It's just
Okay,
like...
you're just saying aeration because you heard the chef say aeration. Look at the texture. Yeah, look at the bread. All right, here it comes. You want to get that nice and smeared on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I used to think that trains were the perfect vehicle. No, bread is the perfect vehicle of flavor. It almost tastes aged.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me try that.
The stracci is the cheese that we get from Joya, who's a local producer here. We make this kind of like a Japanese pesto. So we use Japanese parsley, shinkiku, which is a chrysanthemum leaf, perilla, some cilantro, and then yuzu kosho, and we mix that all together like a pretty smooth pesto, put that on top of the cheese, toasted pumpkin seeds on top, and then serve it with Bub's bread.
Round 2, baby. We got a Chardonnay, also bubbly.
Do you know any foreign language toasts?
Yeah, like in Korean, we chan. In Chinese, it's ganbei.
Ganbei. In Ukrainian, it's na zdarovya.
Ooh, I like that. How do you say that? Nazia roga.
Na zdarovya.
Nazdarova.
Na zdarovya.
You know what? Let's eat some toast.
So now we've upgraded to a deeper vessel. Hell yeah, we got soft cheese. That is the realm I like to live in.
God.
Yeah.
See, that's what you want in cheese.
Yeah, it's got like
creamy, a little messy.
A little stringy, but it's a cool cheese. Don't think this is hot and melty.
Toast. Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. This is so good.
This tastes like both the milk fresh from the cow and the grass that the cow is standing on in a very delicious way, not a gross way. I think the amount of time it takes to chew a piece of bread really says something about how good it is.
Here's the thing. I've had good bread before, but I didn't realize that bread could be like this luxurious.
Yeah.
Like this epic.
You take it for granted, for sure.
You gotta get in here, Adam.
Yeah, Adam, you gotta get in here. Premium ice cream. Here's to eating toast.
Yo, that toast was crazy. That was delicious.
Yeah, it was crazy delicious.
All right, where are we going next, Andrew?
We're going to San Francisco to have some $20 toast.
San Francisco.
Yeah, to not have toast, but to have a tartine, which is toast.
Which is toast.
It's toast.
That's toast, right? Well, is it toast?
It's toast as we're choosing to call toast.
Hi, I'm Dominique Crenn, and this is one of my restaurants called Petit Crenn. It's a very casual French bistro. It's an homage to my mother and my grandmother cooking from Brittany. The focus here is just vegetable and seafood. There is no meat.
You have another restaurant here in San Francisco?
Yes, I do have, and that's the restaurant that's kind of my baby, Atelier Crenn. And this is a dish that is kind of a take on a dish that I used to do at Atelier Crenn on the tasting menu called the Walk in the Forest. I used to go to the forest with my dad often, and we used to have blackberry and mushroom and wetness outside and that smell and that funkiness. So it's kind of a take on, and hey, let's do a mushroom tartine here, and how you can bring the mushroom to the next level without killing it. You take the bread, grill it on the grill. We get different type of mushroom. Each is vary through the season. Saute the mushroom with a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil. Deglaze them with cherry vinegar. What we want to achieve is to glaze the mushroom with the butter and just make them like just a little bit of acidic also with the vinegar. You have to test your food. You have to know what you're putting on the plate. You have to understand the balance, you know, it's very important. We made a espelette mayonnaise. There's a lot of umami and there's a lot of fat in that dish, so you want to cut that with a little bit of cornichon, elephant garlic, different type of herb, finish with a little bit of sea salt, cut it, eat it, and go to sleep. When you have a bread and you know there is a lot of work behind it and you know it's delicious, less is more. Less is always more. I think so.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Toast.
Toast. Cheers.
Have you ever seen a funner color?
But this is natural
It is.
and beautiful tasting.
Speaking of beautiful, look at that. I'll split the toast.
Please. Part the forest.
Oh.
Cheers. Toast.
Toast.
Oh my god. I have no words.
It's interesting because mushroom is far from the predominant flavor on this tartine. It's there and it's delicious, but the balance of little acidic things.
Yes. Wholly perfect.
This is extremely delicious. I think more than anything, I'm devastated by things that I've worked so much harder and longer on that didn't taste nearly as good.
Yeah. Less is more though.
It is.
Less is more.
If you know how to do it
If
perfectly.
you, yeah, right.
What a toasty episode we just had.
But I'm chilly.
Hey, don't get jelly of my Worth It winner, because my Worth It winner on this very special episode is Sqirl.
Oh!
Yeah, that was a very worth it piece of toast. Why? 3 kinds of very special jelly and a whipped ricotta on a sick brioche. Come on, that's very worth it.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I can't believe you're choosing that as your Worth It winner.
Believe it.
My Worth It winner. Wait, Adam, can you go first, please?
Adam, who's your Worth It winner?
Who?
Adam said here's looking at you. Adam says the liver mousse, whoa.
All right, so, yeah, Petit Crenn is my Worth It winner. It was delicious.
That's a good choice. That is a very strong toast game coming out of Petit Crenn.
But I don't feel good saying it because they were
Why?
all so good.
Did you know that tip was included for that tartine?
Oh yeah, that does it for me then. Yeah, tip included.
There you go.
Done.
That was a very fun episode. Not a crazy high price point, but for a food like toast, still pretty interesting. You saw a couple of bakeries, you saw some bread get baked, you saw some toast get toasted. Come on, it was a great time we just had together. So,
All of us.
we'll be back next week.
Me, Adam, and all y'all.
Toast.
Oh, yes!